The Calatrava line is the bedrock foundation of Patek Philippe. I got lucky that a 5205G was available for my first purchase of a Patek, but as I mentioned in my previous video, my original AD is losing his Patek portfolio, so I needed to establish with a new Patek Philippe AD. I went back to basics and I was offered this beautiful 6119G, which I think is the best looking out of their Calatrava line. This is all about elegance, an understated sophistication, and quiet luxury. It's a true dress watch. It's from a historic watchmaker, but updated in terms of dimensions and move. With any of their models, Patek never compromises on the quality of their packaging and presentation box. The operating instructions and the certificate come packaged in this beautiful, high-quality leather folder. The certificate is already printed with the AD's name before it gets shipped out to them, and when it is sold, they print your name and address on the certificate at the AD. Patek Philippe is one of the oldest and longest-standing watch companies. By the time Rolex was founded in 1905, Patek Philippe had already been in business for over 60 years. And it's the last manufacturer in Geneva still in family ownership. The Calatrava was released in 1930, and it's become the landmark of Patek Philippe, a classic in watch design and timeless in design. The name itself goes back to the old Spanish knightly order of the Calatrava, and the Calatrava cross has become the registered company logo of Patek Philippe. The Calatrava cross trademark remains depicted on the winding crown and the case base, and as you can see on the box and the leather folder. A brown leather travel pouch is also included with purchase. Inside the shipping box is the brown outer box, and even here you can notice the high quality of the thick cardboard used in the construction of the outer box. And removing that soft brown cloth covering reveals that beautiful presentation box made of a heavy polished wood. It sits up at an incline because the back feet are higher than the front feet to give you a better view of the watch. The Calatrava cross is emblazoned on the top of the box, and even the buckle is designed in that Calatrava buckle design. And inside, everything is kept minimal. That beautiful beige plush interior, but no extra flaps or pockets, just the cushion and the watch. And there's only one hang tag that comes with the watch, and that can be tucked inside the pillow. My annual calendar also came with a pusher instrument, which is used to operate the watch pushers on the side, and that could also be tucked into the side of the pillow. The watch comes on a standard alligator black strap, and it's slightly large for me. I'm currently wearing it on the very first hole, so I think I'll need to order a size small. You can order almost any color from Patek Philippe, so I may ask for a gray strap next time. The quick release spring bars are made of white gold. You don't want steel spring bars to sit in that white gold case. The buckle is also made of white gold. There's no branding on the outside of the buckle, but it does have that classic Calatrava shape. The white gold case is finely sculpted in that classic Calatrava design. It is very thin, only 8.08 millimeters in height. So this can sit flatter on the wrist, and it also makes the watch much lighter in weight. The lug tips do slightly turn down at the end, but overall it's still a very flat watch. This can be fine if you have a large wrist, but this makes it wear slightly large on my 6.5-inch wrist. But the main feature of this case is that guillocheted hobnail pattern on the bezel, known as clou de Paris. Very tiny pyramidal shapes set in two concentric circles, carved into the white gold case. This is very detailed and very intricate when looking up close, and this is a classic feature of Patek Philippe. The caliber 30-255 PS was a new movement when this watch was released in 2021. It's a manual wind movement, and the lack of the self-winding rotor allows you to see the whole movement through the transparent case back, and it allows the movement to be thinner. The thickness is only 2.55 millimeters with a diameter of 31 millimeters. It's a hacking movement with small seconds, and it has two mainspring barrels, which gives it an extra power reserve of 65 hours. But the beauty of the movement is in its hand finishing and hand assembly and attention to detail that makes this movement so nice to look at in person. The water resistance is only 30 meters, so be careful with this watch around water. With all my watches, out of all the features, the case, the bracelet, the movement, I like to talk about the dial most of all, and this is no exception. The charcoal dial has a small second subdial, which has concentric finishing. But the main dial has a vertical satin brushed finish, which I can't imagine how difficult that would be to do, but I imagine it is difficult, and I don't see vertical brushed satin finishing very much anywhere else. At some angles, the dial looks gray, and other times it looks like a dull black. There are only 3 words that appear on the dial in a tastefully printed application, not even a Swiss made at the bottom. The white gold Dauphine hands and the white gold applied markers are multifaceted, and they're finished to a mirror shine. And the light will just bounce off the white gold. And this is how I've been using it to tell the time on this watch. Just angle it towards the light, and the hour markers and hands will just light up, making it much easier to tell the time. The sapphire crystal seems pretty reflective, so I don't think this has anti-reflective coating, but the white gold hour markers and hands make up for this in terms of legibility. And wearing it on the wrist, the 39mm case actually looks slightly large on my 6.5-inch wrist because the case is so flat in design. And without a large bezel, the dial itself is larger in size and has more negative space. The 5205G has a larger diameter case, a thicker case and heavier case, and a longer lug-to-lug distance. But on the wrist, it actually feels smaller than my 6119. That's because it curves down better to the wrist, and it has that ingenious bezel which is concave and gives the illusion of a smaller volume watch. In the end, I'm glad to have the 6119G. It makes a great companion piece, and I hope both of these will be lifelong pieces. The 6119 is not a hot piece, and that's one reason I was able to get this so quickly. You won't make any money off of this trying to sell it for a profit. This is a watch to wear and not put in a safe. In my opinion, the Calatrava is a true dress watch, and I can wear this comfortably with my suit and tie. I'm aggressively paring down my Rolex collection so I have more time to wear the Patek. And I'm still hoping for a 5226 or a 5212 because I think those both look amazing also. Let me know in the comments your favorite Calatrava, and do you prefer the white gold or the rose gold?